Hi, I'm Lauren from LSP Actions and welcome to the video tutorial for the LSP Select and Fix Mini Magic Photoshop action. This is called magic for a reason, because with this Photoshop action you simply draw a selection using the patch tool to extend backgrounds without stretching the pixels, without liquefying, without causing banding. You can remove distractions from your image. You can fix all manner of skin issues with this action. You can clean up stray hairs. You can literally do everything with this action. In this tutorial video I'm going to show you how to install the Photoshop actions, making sure you click the right button when the little error message pops up, which tools you need your settings on to use this properly, how to make a duplicate of your background image to work on, and all sorts of other things. So please do watch this full tutorial to get the most out of your LSP Select and Fix action. This tutorial is 20 minutes long, but honestly, believe me, it's worth it. 20 minutes of your life, you will be able to literally fix anything in Photoshop without any more cloning, without having to use a spot healing brush, without having to make selections and drag, without having to liquefy, nothing. Literally, after 20 minutes, you will know how to do everything, 101 things with the Select and Fix action. It is so versatile. This is going to be the most prized possession in your Photoshop action toolkit, believe me. So let's dive in to install these into Photoshop. Once you've downloaded from the website, simply double click the LSP Select and Fix action ATN file here. This is the easiest way to get this into Photoshop. If this doesn't work for you, you can go on the LSP website under the video section and you'll see lots of different ways you can use to install an action into Photoshop. But generally the easiest way is to double click this. You're going to get an error message pop up to say one or more shortcuts in this action set will hide menu shortcuts. Remove the conflicting action shortcuts. At this point, click no. It's very tempting to click yes, that seems like the right thing to do. But what I've done with Select and Fix is give it a shortcut of F2. This is the F2 function key. Normally in Photoshop, the F2 function key means cut, but you can cut by holding down Control or Command and hitting X on the keyboard, so it really doesn't matter if you use that one or not. So make sure you hit no. And what this will do is it will make sure Select and Fix keeps the F2 shortcut, and that makes editing even quicker, and I'm going to show you how to use that when we get to the user tutorial in just a moment. Once you've installed this into Photoshop, you're going to want to come up here to Window and choose Actions to make sure your actions appear. Now my action palette is chock-a-block of actions. Yours might look like this too, or you might have it very simple. Either way, Select and Fix is going to appear down here at the bottom of your action panel. And here it is here in grey editing mode. In grey mode you can click on the action and hit play here. But I much prefer using button mode, so click this little menu here and choose button mode. If your button mode looks a little bit like this all over the place, simply drag it in until it snaps into a nice neat column. And let's go to the bottom and find Select and Fix. You can also drag Select and Fix up to the top when you're on grey mode if you want to, or position this wherever you like. So you'll see here in the LSP Select and Fix action you have the title and the copyright information. Then you have an important please read. Below this there's a little tip to say make your selection before playing. This is really important. I'm going to show you why in a moment. Below this you have create a duplicate fixing layer. Then you have Select and Fix Classic and Select and Fix for blurred backgrounds. So let's get started and dive into the editing tutorial now. Now if you click here where it says important please read, you're going to get the information about the set and the copyright information. If you hit continue, you'll get some instructions pop up. This is really handy if it's been a while since you've watched this video and you just need a quick reminder of how it all works. If you hit continue again, you'll get some extra tips which I'm going to go through in this video. Now, so Select and Fix works best when you've cropped in, when you've done your basic editing and you've flattened your image back down again. It's really important to flatten after cropping because Select and Fix uses in part Photoshop's content aware technology, which if you haven't flattened after cropping, it's going to pull in hidden areas of your image that you can no longer see, and you might get some really funky effects. So make sure you right click and choose flatten if needed. The next step will be, you don't have to do this, but I really recommend creating a duplicate fixing layer here, this green action here, number 1. And what this will do once you've clicked it is create a brand new layer for you to work on with your fixing, which will not affect your background layer. And then under this you have Select and Fix Classic, which will be the one you work on most of the time, and Select and Fix for blurred backgrounds if you're working with a shallow depth of field or a blurry area. I'll get to that one later. They both work in the same way. And you'll see here now we have the F2 function key assigned to this action and the Shift plus F2 assigned here. If you already have F2 assigned anywhere else, you may find it says Alt and F2, Control Shift and F2, something like that. But generally, if you've installed this cleanly and hit No on the error message, you'll see F2 here. If you've lost this or you hit Yes accidentally and you would like to use this function, it's only optional. You don't have to even use it. It just makes editing even easier. You can check out the help file in the LSP Actions editing group on Facebook. So let's get started with the edit. We've clicked Create a Duplicate Fixing Layer, which is here, the LSP Duplicate Fixing Layer, which we're going to be working on. If you cannot see your layers, you can come up here to Window and choose Layers to make sure they appear. Next up, you're going to come over here on your spot healing brush icon and scroll down. If you just click your mouse like this and hold down for a long click, you'll get these other options appear. Choose Patch Tool. This looks like a little kind of denim patch that you get on your jeans or something, so click that one there. And with the Patch Tool you can make selections on your image. I much prefer using Patch Tool over the lasso or the marquee for Select and Fix. So let's get started with extending this background. I'm going to draw a loose selection around it here on this beautiful maternity image straight out of camera by Anna Brand. And come over here to Select and Fix and click it, or hit F2 on your keyboard. And bam, just like that, it's fixed. The reason F2 is so great is because you don't even have to have your action palette open. You can literally select and hit F2 and it's done. It fixes it for you. You don't have to click. And let's fix this area here. So I'm just drawing a loose selection around this, this whole area which I want to fix, and hit Select and Fix, or F2. And it's done just like that. So we see there, we can turn the fixing layer on or off and see before and after. You can also use it on any little areas like this, Select and Fix. And because you're on Patch Tool as well, it's really handy to just drag and patch out the way. I just find the two work really well together. So let's open up another image for extending the background here. This sweet little soul is by Nikki Byrne Photography. Put the action palette back up here. Okay, so first of all, create the duplicate fixing layer to mean that we're not working on the background. And I'm just going to draw a loose selection here, avoiding the balloon or anything else around this area. I want to make it go away and turn it into the background. And hit Select and Fix. And just like that, all the legwork has been done for you. Now let's choose another image to extend the background on. This image here is by Magda Bright. It's so cute. So create a duplicate fixing layer, and I'm going to draw around this area. If you'd like to draw fix more than one area at once, you can simply hold down Shift on your keyboard and you will notice the little plus sign appears next to the patch tool. So let's go over this area too. Make sure you include any shadows, so the whole of the distraction plus a little bit generous around the outside here. Because you're holding down Shift, you can make more than one selection. And play Select and Fix. Boom. See there, before and after. And because you're on a patch tool, you can simply grab any little last bits and just drag them out of the way if they look a little bit odd, or use Select and Fix again. So we see there before and after. So quick and easy. This image here by Anna Brandt, create a duplicate fixing layer. I'm going to hold down Shift so I can make more than one selection. Areas like this, make sure you select the shadows. Let's select some of these little creases here. How about this one? This big one here. I'm so sorry if you can hear my children screaming in the background. It's almost like they know when I'm recording a tutorial video. Okay, and hit Select and Fix. Push. Done. If you get any areas that look a bit odd, Photoshop's content aware doesn't always get it completely 100% right. You can simply draw around these, use Select and Fix again, or because you're on the patch tool, again, just patch these little areas. If you try and patch a big area of discrepancy before using Select and Fix, you might find it gives you a really odd result. But if you've already used the Select and Fix action, patching is a walk in the park. So there we go, before and after. Just think how long that would take to fix. If you were doing it manually, it would take an age. So before and after there. Super quick, super easy. Now let's go on to a little bit more complicated image when it comes to fixing the background here. So I'm going to create a duplicate fixing layer. Now this is a huge area here to fix. Of course, normally this image would be cropped in portrait, but just for the video tutorial's sake, I'm going to show you a few tips you can use to fixing a very complicated background and extending that there. So we've created our duplicate layer. I'm going to go around this area first with Select and Fix and see how that turns out. Not too shabby at all. You can see there's a few little discrepancies here, so I'm just going to patch those out of the way. Just until it neatens up a little bit. See there, just move the actions out of the way for you a little bit. So that's done a really good job of extending the background. Extending using Select and Fix is much better than selecting and then dragging it out with a transform or using a liquify, because it's not stretching pixels, it's adding the same amount of pixels in. So let's try on this side now. I know this is going to be a little bit more complicated because of how much Photoshop has to work with, but let's just give it a go. Oh, it really hasn't done too bad at all, has it? And we can see here there's some creases and some discrepancies left over here. Photoshop is not sure what to do with the shadow. So I'm simply going to select all this area here, run one more Select and Fix, and then I'm going to select again and use the patch tool. So just selecting that, and I'm just going to patch this in a little bit like this. Patch tool is great because it replaces textures on your image but not the tones. So using patch and Select and Fix together is a really, really powerful combination for super fast editing. So I'm just patching those bits out of the way. And we can see there before and after. And the great thing about this is we haven't extended the background by dragging the pixels, we haven't extended it by liquefying, literally replacing like for like, so this will print really, really big. So there are some great tips there using Select and Fix to extend and fix the backgrounds. Now let's see how it performs removing distractions in your images. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these images for a moment. This gorgeous image here, a newborn image by Annie Smack at Little Peanut Photography. Let's remove the hand and the safety finger here holding newborn's head up. So create duplicate fixing layer. I'm going to draw around this with Select and Fix. And play the action. So super simple. And dragging these ones in for you. So first up we have this image here by Elaine Campbell Photography. I'm going to create a duplicate fixing layer. Hold down Shift to make more than one selection and draw over these two backdrop stands and play Select and Fix. And the same for here, these little cakey crumbs, why not? Done. Super quick, no cloning, no nothing. This newborn image here by Anna Brand. First of all, I'm going to crop this one in a little bit to get this centre. There is no point in cropping away excess background when you don't need it. So hit enter, and once you've cropped, it's really important to right click and flatten the image down so that Select and Fix isn't pulling in from any areas elsewhere on your image outside the crop. So I'm going to create a duplicate fixing layer, and for this one I'm going to show you how you can use the F2 shortcut that's assigned to Select and Fix. So as long as you hit no when it's installed and you have the Select and Fix F2 shortcut installed along with the actions, you can use it this way. So imagine your action palette isn't even there. So what I'm going to do is draw around some of these creases, holding down Shift, just to make some selections here. It's so refreshing not to have to clone. Okay, so I'm just coming in here. So ignore my weird selections being made by my mouse right now. I'm working on a really bumpy surface. I've got this resting on something that isn't completely smooth. Okay, and that big area there. So now instead of even having the actions open, I'm going to hit F2 on my keyboard, and this is running the select and fix action. Super quick and easy. So again, I'm going to hit F2, and it's talking to the action panel. The LSP Select and Fix is being played. Again, I'm hitting it. So this is great if you're working on another action set or you don't want the Select and Fix action panel open. You can literally hit F2 because I've assigned it to that action. And if you've lost the F2 function, if it's not working, you can go on the LSP Actions Facebook group on Facebook, LSP Actions Editing Group on Facebook. That's Facebook/groups/Lemon Sky Actions, and you can find a file section in there for troubleshooting Select and Fix and reassigning that F2 shortcut. It's amazing. So I've just opened up the action panel again there. Let's get rid of some distractions in this image. So again, create a duplicate fixing layer. This is by Kelly Powell's at Sterling Photography. And first of all, let's get rid of this tablet, playing white noise no doubt. You can see there it's drawn in a little bit, there's a bit of discrepancy between the blur, the fade off there. So you can simply drag this using the patch tool just to blend it in a little more. Let's do the same with this area. I'm selecting and hitting select and fix. Make sure that you hit select and fix after you've made your selection and not before, otherwise you're going to get error messages pop up. For example, if you've not used the patch to make any selections and you jump straight into it, you're going to get all these command, contract, blah 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 coming up, and the action will go red, in which case you need to come off button mode, close it back down. So make sure that you make your selection first every time. Let's use it to fix some of these creases, shall we? So I'm simply going around using the select and fix to sort these little creases out. And because you're on the patch tool as well, you can make use of that. Holding down shift, any little areas of this blanket that we want to fix, and hit select and fix. You can also use select and fix to fix skin areas. So grab on the patch tool. I'm going to hold down shift and just grab some of these skin areas here. Of course, for skin, I really do recommend using my LSP skin actions. But if you're using select and fix, you can get some great results with skin discrepancies here. So I'm just holding down shift so I can make a good few selections. I'm not going to do the entire skin like this because if you've got this baby here, you can watch the editing video tutorial for this one, Signature Newborn. But just to show you how select and fix works with skin like this, let's play select and fix. And you can see there it's done a really good job of getting rid of those skin distractions. You can see here where I selected a little close to the nose, it's not too sure what to do there. So I'm going to go back to the patch tool and just fix that area there. You'll also notice here on the duplicate fixing layer, you have a layer mask. This is like a scratch card. So if any area has gone a little bit funny, if you've gone a little bit overboard and you're not too sure of it, rather than erasing anything, you can simply go on your paintbrush here, make sure it's set to black. I like to use 100% opacity and around 25-26% flow, and just paint that away. And that hides anything that happened there. I'm just going to go on the layer underneath now because that's what's showing, and just fix that little bit. So you can literally use select and fix for anything. Anything in your image you don't want to be there, you can use select and fix. How about this lovely image here by Alex Hergen? All of these images are straight out of camera images. They are unedited, apart from literally just bringing them straight into Photoshop. So of course there are other ways to edit the skin and things like that. I've just cropped this in, so I'm going to right click and choose flatten. Let's remove these two creases here, so I'm literally going to select them. And because this is a soft focus background, I'm going to play select and fix blurred. The shortcut for this is shift and F2. And this action works much nicer on the softer backgrounds there. So let's work on a couple more blurry background images. So first up we have this really stunning straight out of camera shot by Karen Hick. So I'm going to grab the patch tool, and there's a rather large area of bokeh here that you may want to get rid of, so drawing around that and play Select and Fix Blurred Background. This will work a little better on blurry areas of your image that require a softer approach. So I'm just using that to fix those two areas there. This lovely shot here by Deborah O'Connor, again straight out of the camera. Look at those colours. I see there's kind of this stray branch here that does distract the eye, so I'm just going to draw around that and use Select and Fix for blurred areas. And you'll see there it's removed that tree trunk. Whoops, something I didn't do was create a duplicate fixing layer first. How about we use Select and Fix to remove these hair distractions here. So I'm going to select the patch tool, hold down Shift because I want to make more than one selection. Select these areas of hair and any other little pieces and bobs. So I'm just drawing around those. And do that. I think that's a mole. We don't want to remove anything that's meant to be there. A bit of stray hair there too, and play Select and Fix. You can say literally just like that, they've gone. And the same for this lovely lady's hair here as well. You can hold down Shift if you want to make more than one selection. Let's just tidy this area of hair up here and play Select and Fix. You see there before and after using Select and Fix. Select and Fix can also be really good if you wanted to soften up any areas of the skin, such as wrinkles like this. I really don't recommend removing any facial characteristics because this is part of the person. But if you did want to soften any areas, I recommend creating another duplicate fixing layer so you have two duplicate fixing layers. Now use Patch Tool to draw around any areas like this and play Select and Fix. And again here like this. So you see there, you've completely removed the wrinkles, which looks totally unnatural. And then my trick is to come up here to the opacity, bring it all the way down, and now start bringing this up a little bit, and you'll see that area is still there, the wrinkles are still there, giving the face its characteristics, but you just lighten them a little bit, so now the customer sees exactly how they look in the mirror, how they see themselves, whereas the camera, and especially when it's very, very sharp, when the light is coming directly from above, it can create shadows that wouldn't naturally be there. So you can really soften areas of your image by creating a second duplicate fixing layer. All you need to do is click on this. You can click on it as many times as you like and create as many duplicate fixing layers as you want, selecting and fixing those areas, and then bringing the opacity down so the original is still showing through underneath. So that is just one of a few ways you can use the LSP Select and Fix Mini Magic Photoshop action to fix all manner of things in Photoshop using the Patch tool and, if you wanted to, the F2 function key shortcut. You can extend backgrounds without stretching the pixels, without causing banding. You can remove distractions from your image in a click. You can fix all manner of skin issues. You can clean away stray hairs. You can do all sorts. You can literally do anything. I think there is nothing this action can't do except maybe you're washing up. The most important thing is when using this action, when installing, make sure you hit no on that error message that pops up, and make sure you make your selection before you play the action. You need to make your selection first before playing. The Select and Fix Photoshop actions are available at www.lsp-actions.com and also feature within all major LSP sets such as Signature Newborn, the Lemon Sky Outdoor, the Cake Smash Cutie and all the large sets at LSP. I hope you found the tutorial helpful. I can't wait to see what you do. Please do let me know in the LSP Actions Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Lemon Sky Actions.